What is going on, guys? Ben and welcome back to a new video of mine. Today what I have here is another live commentary game. Now you're either going to be seeing this on late Sunday, sorry, or early Monday, so it'll be one or the other. It depends on when my other video goes up, because I'm uploading one now whilst I'm doing this one. So it's Sunday when I'm doing this at 3:30. So timing's a bit off, but anyway, we're just going to get straight into it. What is another live commentary, because I really did enjoy doing the one I did yesterday. I just talked about some live commentary stuff and how I was playing the game. This time I'm going to be talking about the Premier League results that have happened so far. Obviously, I'm recording this just before the Liverpool kickoff. We have just seen the Everton game, but I will not ruin the result for you. Obviously, if you haven't seen any of these games and you're planning on watching it on Match of the Day 2 tonight or Match of the Day catch up on iPlan, I will click off this video pretty soon, because I'm going to rattle off all of the scores, all of the results. I'm going to talk through them as you can see on the screen now. So, we've got Buffon, Banashian from Rami, I think that is Chiellini. He's got a decent little 3-4-1-2 team. Serie A. Obviously the strikers aren't my favourite, but anyway, we're going to get straight on into the scores. We're going to start off with Saturday's early kickoff, which was Manchester City, my club, versus Southampton. Now Southampton have been good as of the recent weeks. They've been strong, they've been good in attack. They played some lovely little they have played some lovely football. So it really did worry me when we went into the game. Obviously coming off against the draw against Arsenal, which wasn't really what we wanted going to Arsenal, because obviously they're a weakened side at the minute. So we went there and we did take a very early lead, a 3-minute. Bloody hell, what's Clichy doing there? We did take a very early lead, 3 minutes. It only took us 3 minutes to get the lead with a Yaya Toure penalty, a Yaya Toure special, as I like to call them. He's been scoring a lot of penalties recently. So that's all good. But then they did equalise with a Ricky Lambert penalty. Obviously, he's not going to miss one. 34 out of 34 in his professional career, I believe it is. He just had an insane... Robin. He just had an insane time with his penalties, really, and good on him, really. From where he started in the lowest English league at the time, and he's just done a fantastic job. This guy's actually fairly decent. He's done a fantastic job to get where he is now, Ricky Lambert has, so, fair play to the lad. Obviously, he put that in the net, and then we had some, then we had a very controversial goal indeed. It wasn't controversial, it shouldn't have been allowed. It was 4 or 5 yards offside from David Silva. Coming from a Man City fan, I openly admit that was offside. We shouldn't have been allowed it. However, it was some nice play off of that. It was a lovely little pass from Silva across the goal to Nasri for Nasri's open goal. So we took a 2-1 lead. I was feeling fairly confident. Although they were absolutely dominating us, I felt fairly confident that we could get back into the game and pull off the result we needed, and we wanted, and we definitely needed. And then we scored another one with a Dzeko header that came off the post, I believe, going into half-time. Just for half-time, 2 goals in space of 5 minutes, something like that. So, it was 3-1 up at half-time, and, we were looking very strong. We weren't done there, though, were we? We came out in the second half, and we were even stronger than the first half, really. We were fantastic. We had Navas running down the wing, and he did a low, hard cross into the box. Obviously, it was aimed for Negredo, I believe. Negredo, obviously, in his the longest goal drought of his career so far, which is a bit of a pain in the bum for us, but it went for him. He missed it, so did the goalkeeper. It did leave Stefan Jovetic for the open net, and he just passed it into the net, and it was 4-1, and that is how the game ended. A 4-1 result. The 3 points is what we needed. It wasn't the prettiest of games, obviously. It was just a Champions game sort of thing. We needed to win that, and we did. We showed we could provide a 3-point game when we're in desperate need of one. So that was all very good for me. I loved the game. The game was very good to watch. Obviously, BT covered it, and I think BT. This is something you can drop in the comments if you like, but I think BT's coverage has been a lot better than Sky's this year. I really do like BT's coverage. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Moving on into the second game of yesterday, which is Saturday, we had Aston Villa versus Fulham. Now, an important game for both. One more win would pretty much secure Aston Villa, as my dog starts barking. One more win would pretty much secure Aston Villa into the Premier League next year. And obviously Fulham at the foot of the table, they desperately needed a win to make sure they would be in the Premier League next year. As we're just going to lump this up the pitch, and hopefully Robin's going to have to pace the gut on that. He is. Obviously they bloody need a win. They bloody need a few wins. Felix Magath, I think he's never been relegated in his career. I think this could be the first time for everything. He is not in a very good situation, but they did take the lead actually with an absolute screamer from Kieran Richardson. Ball was rolled across the edge of the 18-yard box, and he absolutely rifled it with the outside of his left foot right into it was pretty much into the top corner. So it was a very good goal. But then Grant Holt, the loanee, came on and he scored a nice little header off a corner, I think it was. So, you know, that made it 1-0, and it looked like Fulham were going into their usual slump. You know, Aston Villa were pretty much all over them for the whole duration of the game. Aston Villa were pretty much all over them, so it wasn't looking good. Go on. So it wasn't looking good for Fulham. But Lewis Holtby, I think it was, cutting on his left foot, delivered a nice little short cross into the box. Rodriguez got a nut on it, 86th minute, and there you go, that was it. They sealed the win, they got the 3 points they desperately needed. Obviously Felix Magath, whatever he's called, he's saying he's confident that they're going to stay in the Premier League, but obviously he has to say that because he's the manager. I personally don't believe they can. You know, they are the favourites to drop. Speaking about the drop into the next game, there were two teams that were looking like they're going to, you know, be battling out for the drop places, and it was Cardiff versus Crystal Palace. It was in Wales, and you know, it was a bad game for me because I like both sides. Basically, one side is going to get relegated. I'm not sure which yet. Pretty sure it's going to be Cardiff, but you know, we're not sure. So Cardiff needed to pick up a win. Crystal Palace were pulling off some fantastic results since they have had the Tony Pulis under the management. They've been doing some fantastic work and played a few fantastic games in the last couple of weeks. They've had a couple of good wins. They won against Chelsea last week, so you know they've had a really good run of things at the minute. So they went into the game with, well, quite confident really, and they took a very early, well, it wasn't that early, it was a 30th minute lead with Jason Punchin. Obviously Punchin, I think it was a left foot kind of finesser from the edge of the box. It was quite a nice little goal actually. And then Joe Ledley, I think his first name is, he got the second. Obviously an ex-Cardiff player didn't celebrate. It's always good when an ex-player doesn't celebrate against their club. So, you know, that happened. And, go on, yeah, this guy's actually really good. Probably wasn't the best kind. Oh, go on, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, so Joe Ledley made it 2-0 in the 71st minute, and then Jason Punchin got another one in the 88th, just cutting on his left foot again and smashed it into the near post. So it was a very, very good win for Crystal Palace. It was obviously the most, well, they needed it, and I think they're going to be safe now. I think it's going to be Cardiff that are going to get the drop. Cardiff, Sunderland and Fulham for me are going to be in the drop zone by the end of the year, which is, you know, it's obviously a little bit annoying because there are some good players in each of those teams. And we haven't even seen Matroglu for Fulham yet, and he was meant to be the big. Please don't go in. Jesus Christ. He was meant to be the big nuts that was going to save Fulham, but you know. Another team that is, well, I think both of these teams are pretty much safe, but we have Swansea and we have Hull City. Both of them are there or thereabouts for the drop, actually. Obviously, Swansea getting rid of Michael Laudrup earlier on in the year. It's just a ridiculous move for them. Absolutely stupid. He's one of the greatest managers they've had for a long time. Oh, sorry, Button. And you know why they got rid of him, I have no idea, but they did, and they've had some troubles ever since. Really. Oh, go on, Lewandowski. No Lewandowski. Oh, I just can't score in this game. First game on, and it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, so obviously both sides needed a win again, and that's what Hull got. They got a Boyd back post header in the 39th minute. Boyd, obviously the man that got, I think it was a 3-match ban for the incident with good old Alan Pardew, who's still not allowed down on the touchline. He's still got to be up in the stands, which is a bit of a ridiculous punishment, really. I know it was a headbutt, and I suppose it was quite bad, but you know, he's still getting punished for it. But we still, no. We still got to commend Hull City for the game they played. You know, they went out and they played well. They played a whole 90 minutes very good. For fuck's sake, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. He's had nothing. He's had no possession. He's had no chances, and he goes and scores that. That's so fucking annoying. Moving on into the Manchester City-Newcastle game. Obviously Manchester City coming off against a great result, coming off from a great result against, look at that, that's ridiculous, from Bayern Munich in the week 1-0. They did take a lead with Vidic, I think. Well, I had them to win it, I'm not going to lie. But in the 39th minute, well, actually no, we'll talk about Newcastle a little bit first. Newcastle they've been suffering for the past couple of weeks, obviously losing the likes of Kabay. That was a huge loss for them. Look at one shot target, one goal. Obviously that was a massive loss for them, losing Kabay, and obviously Remy being injured as well. They haven't really had a striker. You know, Pape Cissé a couple of years ago was the man. You know, he was so good, and obviously this year he's been awful. If I'm not gonna lie, he's been terrible. I can't even think if he scored a goal. I'm not sure, but right, come on, fuck's sake, every second ball is going his way. Obviously, Manchester United needed to get some points on the board if they still want a chance in European football. They're most likely not going to get Champions League football, but Europa League is still on the cards, and they still need that. At least that offers a financial gain, and obviously it's still a club in Europe, so it's not the end of the world for them. Obviously, they've had a pretty poor season. It's not a quick fix for them either, I don't think. I think it's going to take a while for them to get back to what they were. But, so they go into this game, and obviously the signing of Juan Mata, he opens the scoring with a fantastic little free kick, actually. A very, very nice little free kick. Up and over the wall from, I don't know, I was going to say about 20, 22 or 3 yards, something like that. So he played very well yesterday, and he got the second, actually, with a lovely little goal. A little fake shot on the line, doing the goalkeeper and a defender. All right, go on, boys. Oh, for God's sake. Guy's just getting so lucky in defence. Obviously, any goal that you fool a defender and the goalkeeper is well, it's a good goal, isn't it? So they went 2-0 up very early on. Well, actually, no, it wasn't that early. 50th minute, they were 2-0 up. And then Javier Hernandez got his name on the score sheet. And then Jan Azai, proving that he wasn't just a couple of game wonder at the beginning of the season, which I thought he was, if I'm honest. I didn't think he was much cop at all. I don't think he's very good at all, if I'm honest. I don't think he's that good. But he scored in the 90-plus minute, I don't know, extra time. Classic Man United goal, really. Lewandowski, come on! Right, we deserve that. Trying to talk about the scores and look at my phone to make sure I got the scores right and look at the screen. It's quite a difficult thing. So Man United pick up a 4-0 win, 3 points they desperately need. The pressure's on Tottenham today, really, because I think it's going to be them to get the last place in the Europa League. Or Arsenal could even be down there, who knows. Arsenal are not playing fantastically at the minute. And move on to the next game, Norwich versus West Brom. Kind of a boring game, if I'm not going to lie. It was a very boring game, actually. There was no action for pretty much the majority of the game. I'm not even going to talk about this one for that long. There was a goal from I'm not even going to bother pronouncing his name. If you want to know who scored the goal, go and have a look on the internet or something, because I can't pronounce his bloody name. He's got a ridiculous name. Oh, Lewandowski! Come on, he scored in the 16th minute, and then that was it for the whole game. Really, they didn't really have much chances. I'm going to try and pronounce his name. Amalfitano. That's the best I can do anyway. He scored, make it 1-0, and that was it. We move on into the latest game on Saturday. It was Chelsea versus Stoke. Obviously, Chelsea huge favourites to come into this game. Obviously, coming off of that loss, that 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace last week, knocked them for 6 a little bit. I think they've had. They weren't. Wow, they started quite. Yeah, you know what I mean. They started a little bit poor first 10-20 minutes, and then they got a goal from Mohamed Salah, who looks a bit of a handful, if I'm honest. I don't think he was going to be a very good signing, but he looked like a bit of a handful. He's scoring them a goal. Him scoring them a goal. This is really annoying. I can't get the fucking ball. There you go. He scored them a goal and to make them 1-0, and I don't know why Lewandowski isn't up there, but so they were 1-0 up obviously in the 31st or 32nd minute, something like that. And then from there on, they controlled the game. Frank Lampard getting his name on the goal sheet, as we've been so used to seeing for the past 10 years. I can't remember his goal. No, I can't remember for the life of me. But then we do have a tiny little finish from Willian. Actually, it was just like a little finesse shot. Very nice little goal, and we make it 3-0, and that was it. Really, Stoke didn't really have much going forward. That's 3-1 this game now. Come on, Stoke didn't really have much going forward. They never really do. Mark Hughes has done quite a good job. They're not so rose-ed, get it out anymore, but they are still a bit of a dodgy squad. And they're safe in the Premier League. They're obviously safe. They'll be pushing top 10, I think, by next year. Actually, no, I don't even know where they are in the league now, to be honest. But so they're doing all right. And then that was all for Saturday, obviously. And moving on into the Sunday game, which has just finished, literally about 20 minutes ago from when I'm doing this. It is Arsenal versus Everton. Everton, all the Arsenal fans I knew were coming into this very, very confident because they beat them 4-1 in the Cup. That was not a 4-1 game, may I say. Everton have been so good since then. That's Vincent Kompany has gone through and goal. That's Vincent Kompany. That's a penalty that Vincent Kompany just won me. Holy shit. Vincent Kompany, he was keen to get his name on the scorecard, and we will let him. And he's concentrating for this penalty quickly because they're not going to miss this. Come on, Kompany. Right, okay, so Kompany gets his name on the scorecard. So Arsenal were very, very confident going into this game, and all the Arsenal fans, they thought 4-1. How can that be turned around so drastically? If I'm honest, I did actually expect Everton to do very well in this game. They've come off 4 wins in a row in the league, which is just fantastic. You know, Roberto Martinez, he has always been one of my favourite managers. Even at Wigan, he was a fantastic manager, although they got the drop last year. But, you know, he's been absolutely superb throughout the majority of this year. You know, they've been a side to fear, which Everton weren't ever usually a side to fear. They haven't been for the past 10 or so years. You know, they haven't been a side that are going to push. My dog is going mental. I don't even know what for. They haven't been a side to push for Europe for a while. I don't know exactly how many years it's been since they pushed for Europe, but you know, they haven't been fantastic. This year they have been absolutely brilliant. They've been one of the best sides to watch. Obviously, the loan of Romelu Lukaku, getting that was crucial for their progress and their success this year. That was a brilliant little bit of play from Martinez. I did think that was smart from him. And you know, moving into this game, it was all to play because Everton obviously have a game in hand over Arsenal. And if Everton were to win this game, then they'd go 1 point behind with the game in hand. So, you know, Arsenal got some trouble for that last Champions League spot. Moving into the game now, obviously starting very early on, Naismith got a goal in the 14th minute. Off a rebound from the Romelu Lukaku shot. Romelu Lukaku played so well in this game, and his shot got rebounded from Szczesny, and it fell into the path of Naismith, who did a tidy finish. It was a tidy finish, I'll give him that. Although it was a rebound, it was a decent finish. So obviously 1-0, and Arsenal, every single time Arsenal seem to go 1-0 down, they just seem to drop off. Every single time. They've been poor when they've gone down. They've been poor when they're equal, you know. Well, apart from against Manchester City last week, they've been poor when they've gone down. They had nothing in the bag today, nothing at all. Lukaku went on in the 34th minute to score a goal. He glided past the Arsenal defence. You know, there was no competition for him at all. He just, like I said, he just glided past them, and he scored a fantastic little rifle on his left foot. And then going into half-time, obviously they were 2-0 down, 61st minute. Arteta scores an own goal. It was Morales, a bit of fantastic play from Morales, really. And, you know, they did a very good job of maintaining the 3-0 lead. Obviously, Arsenal have a lot of firepower going forwards, and they did end up bringing on Ramsey and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and they didn't even really make a difference, I'm not going to lie. Royce, that's a good goal. Can't believe 1-0 down to this league. But yeah, obviously that was a fantastic result for Everton, putting them 1 point behind Arsenal with a game in hand. You know, they can go into 4th place. And like I said, Roberto Martinez done such a good job. And the Everton players they've got this year, Deulofeu, Morales, Lukaku, Naismith has been good. Osman came off with an injury. Jagielka's been good, although he's injured. Distan's been good. Stones has been good. I think Baines is one of, if not the best left back in the world at the minute. He is just top quality. He's a different class to everybody else in the league, and most likely, in my opinion, the world. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. And obviously Coleman's been fantastic as well. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me really that they won. And as we win 4-1, 5-1, sorry. You know, we scored. It's a fantastic game for Everton and for us. But that is the end of the episode, guys. Please do be sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this live commentary. It has been about 18-19 minutes long. I know it's been a long time, as you see the stats that we blitzed them. But if you did, like I said, if you did enjoy, please do be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. Also, do be sure to check out my other videos on my channel. I will be doing some GTA stuff. If you fancy the GTA, then I'll be doing some of that. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Adios.